Colleen with Rope and Resellers. I'm here for my weekly update for January 8th through January 14th, 2018.
Okay, so first thing I sold was this Rogers bottle coaster. So it's like a coaster for a wine bottle so it doesn't drip all over your table. It came in a nice box which had some condition issues, which I showed. It sold for $24.99. He paid shipping, so it was $31.29 collected. I paid $1.50 for this at the thrift store. $11.41 for eBay, PayPal, and shipping costs for a total profit of $18.38, and it took 3 years to sell. Surprised it sold. I sold some stuff at pretty high prices this week, I thought, considering how long they've been listed. Okay, next up I have a Valentine that sold for $6.50. They paid shipping, so I collected $9.11. There's not a lot you can do with a postcard, right? I only have 2 photos. 10 cents because I bought a ton of them at an auction years ago. $4 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $5.01, and it took 3 years to sell. I sold a Cirrus, and I had never heard of this brand either. Let me put that back. And it was a really cool coat. And then when I got it, I had an email that, because I get, fashion emails, and there was a girl wearing a jacket almost exactly like this in the email, and I was like, oh, she went on eBay and tried to find a similar style jacket. So anyway, it was really cool. This is the brand, the label. It sold for $24.99 with free shipping. I paid $1 for it because I got it from the consignment store I work with. $9.06 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $14.93. Juicy Couture, which I guess may be coming back. I've had some Juicy that hasn't sold at all, but this one was different. It was maroon. So anyway, I had stuff 7% off in my store. $18.59 is what it sold for. They paid shipping, so I collected $22.47. I also got this through the consignment store, so it cost me $1. $6.89 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $14.58, and it took 1 day to sell. Now the next 2 were combined. So this is a sweater, and it sold for $18.59, and it had a little logo on it that said SP. There's Cutter and Buck, and it's really nothing. So that is SP, and that's Spanish Peaks, which is a kind of a private resort, not Yellowstone Club, but they'd like to be. They don't have the big fancy entrance gate or the security that they have at the other place. But anyway, homes are still expensive, and they have a golf course, and they have some ski runs. Anyway, that sold for $18.59, and then this sold, and these came from a friend of mine who worked up there, so these were employee clothes. And she's like, do you want these? So these were from her boyfriend or husband, or I don't know. Anyway, he didn't want them anymore because he wasn't going to work up there. So she gave a giant bag of employee clothes to me. There was Big Sky stuff in there, and there was also Spanish Peak stuff in there because they work for both places. So that was $14.87. So the total I collected on those 2 was $33.46, and they didn't cost me anything. $10.38 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $23.08, and those took 2 months to sell. Okay, so looking at the numbers, 108.53 is what everything sold for. 121.32 is what I collected. $3.60 was my cost of goods, so that's actually really great. And $41.74 in shipping and fees for a total profit for the week of $75.98. I can't even remember the last time I made less than $100. Probably almost never. That's okay. We're moving on. We've had some stuff happening in life, so that's great. I have put very little effort into this, and I listed maybe 5 or 6 things maybe 10 things last week. And so I'm also going to stop listing clothes quite so much because I'm doing some reflecting, and I've decided that perhaps it's time to start going back to my roots and do more antique collectibles, because that's where I seem to have the most success. But the good news is Amazon merch is doing a little bit better. I sold 8 shirts, $48.17, and that's looking pretty darn good compared to that $75, for a total profit of the week of $124.15 for all my e-commerce adventure income. Now, I can look at it and go, wow, I only made $75, but look, I only paid $3.60. How often can you put in $3.60 and have, besides Vegas, $75.98 come back to you? So with minimal work, really, I shouldn't complain.
Okay, so that might be one of the shortest weekly sales I've ever done. I am trying to change some things in my life, and hopefully I'll get back on track with eBay here pretty soon. I've got a couple more weeks and then things are going back to the way they were, which is great because now I'll be able to focus on eBay. It seems to be where I make the most money and where I seem to be the most happy. There's nothing better than an estate sale or a really good garage sale, and you know you scored, and that feeling is amazing, and I just wasn't getting that in my other job. So I'm going to let that one go, and I'm going to go back to doing the thing that I love. And I hope that you guys are loving doing eBay too. Right now, what I don't love is inventory, which is what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you a short clip on how I prepared for inventory, and then next week I'll try to take some video of me counting things. It's extremely boring when you're trying to count over 500 things and figure out what's there already, though. I've done maybe a third, almost a half of everything, and I've had 2 things drop off, and I'm like, well, they're in the bins and they're ready to ship, but they're not showing up on eBay. So I checked my inventory and then my active listings, and it wasn't there, and then I checked eBay just to double check, just did sort of a blind search through just ebay.com, and it wasn't showing up there either, so I can only assume that it's not there. So it's worthwhile doing inventory. It seems boring and monotonous, but it really, I think it can make a big difference in your business. So here's how I did it.
Here we are back at my old friend, the Seller Hub, and this is how I do get ready for doing inventory, I guess I should say. Going down to Seller's Tools, going to File Exchange, just like we did last week for creating our expense report. Now I'm going to do Create a Download Request, just like before. But instead of listings and records and doing sold, now I'm doing active. So I'm going to click on active, send them, so it's all active listings, and then I had it sent to that email address. Then I get something that looks like this, which is huge and ginormous, and I don't know what to do with this. So this is everything that is active in my store right now. 500 things. There are a lot of columns I don't need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all these columns, and I'll just delete them. Okay, so what I am going to do is I'm going to delete this whole column. So I just highlight a column, I go up to edit. This is only in Excel. Remember, I'm no expert. And you just hit delete. So I got rid of everything that I didn't need and just kept deleting column after column after column until I finally got it to something that I could sort of work with. I'm going to make this column bigger so that I can see. So once I've done all that, and then I did it by category. And then just for me, because this is how my brain works, what I did was you can go on this column and go up here to sort. And I had it some of the available, expand the selection. So I'm going to say sort everything, and now it's all in alphabetical order. See, I can go through and find all the athletic apparel and find all the baseball stuff, and then I got rid of all this stuff. Then what I did was I just printed out this sheet, and I just had a description of the item, and you should know, like, you pick it up and you're like, oh, Travelsmith, okay, here it is. It's a casual shirt. If I couldn't find it, then I would go back to my eBay and just do a search through my active listings and just type in a keyword like travel search. And then I just take a highlighter and highlight one of these rows if I found it. And then hopefully after a couple days, I'll be done.
So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I hope your sales are steady, and if not improving, just remember, the more you list, the more you sell. Have a great week.